I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank all of you guys for joining us. Good morning. This is the How to Boost Your LinkedIn session for Take a Break and Educate webinar series. For right now, I would love to introduce Mr. David Michael, and he works for Bank of America. So he's going to share a little about himself and then share a sponsor message from them.
Thanks, Tiana. Again, my name is David Michael. I'm a business banker here at Bank of America. I'm glad to see all of you, and I really appreciate you joining us. The small businesses are the heartbeat of commerce in Little Rock, so it's only fitting that Bank of America would sponsor this event. Small businesses create jobs and anchor our communities. With the Bank of America's targeted products and personalized services, we do everything possible to help small business owners grow and realize their dreams. Since we work so closely with small businesses, we realize the importance of social media and how it can help connect with their customers, suppliers, partners, stakeholders, and the community. In addition, social media engagement can be a cost-effective way for small businesses to tell their own stories and build an even greater network, especially when marketing budgets may be constrained, not to mention the benefit of identifying job candidates through LinkedIn. We're looking forward to a robust discussion. And before we begin, Bank of America would like to share the following 3 best practices that we've seen small businesses implement. Keep it personal. Small businesses have the unique ability to create personalized experiences for their customers by getting creative with their outreach and customer engagement techniques, setting them apart from big box retailers and larger competitors. Listen to customer feedback. Our 2024 Bank of America Business Owner Report found that 79% of small business owners over the past year said they proactively gathered customer feedback. These business owners use various methods to help analyze their customers' sentiments, including monitoring online review platforms and sending out post-purchase customer surveys. Build your brand. Social media can also help you humanize your business. Consider posting about yourself and your employees and sharing about me or question and answer sessions where customers or prospective customers can get to know you on a deeper level. Building a trustworthy brand presence is essential because there's a significant movement toward using social media platforms for more than just social interactions. Platforms like Facebook have become vital search and shopping tools, with 24% of participants using these apps in ways traditionally reserved for search engines and 13% purchasing directly within these apps. The need for businesses to integrate social media into their digital strategies is becoming clear. Bank of America loves supporting small businesses in Arkansas and is committed to helping them thrive. If you have questions about our offerings, feel free to reach out to me at david.michael@bofa.com. We are proud to sponsor this event today with the Chamber. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Tiana. And thank you, Tiana.
Thank you, Mr. Michael, for sharing. And now we will get into the presentation with Ms. Shamia Woods. She works for MySo Energy as the talent scout and brand ambassador, which I'm sure she'll have you share more about herself. Ms. Woods, thank you for joining us and being our presenter. And with further ado, please get started.
Absolutely. You can hear me fine, Tiana?
Yes.
Okay, I am going to attempt to share my screen again and we will get started. Alrighty, friends. So as she said, my name is Shamia Woods. I work for MISO, and MISO is a grid operator for 15 states with our headquarters in Indiana, but we run the electric grid for 4 southern states, parts of Mississippi, parts of Arkansas, a small part of Texas, and the entire state of Louisiana, and that is what is based right here in Little Rock. So today we're going to talk about you being your brand, and I encourage you to build, be, and believe in the power of you. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, if you have any questions, hop in the chat and I will try to address those towards the end of the presentation. So a little bit about me. I came into HR by mistake, kicking and screaming, actually. I was a radio personality for 10 years. I lived in Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, and then I came to Arkansas to actually be on the air. Now, I'm originally from Arkansas, but I gave you that media entertainment background because that's where I learned the importance of not only building your brand, but being your brand and then believing in that brand. And so transitioning into HR, I had my first big girl job, if you will, or big girl field. It was boring. HR, the traditional sense, I hated it. So I had to find a way that gave me excitement and great fervor for the job. And so just leaning into LinkedIn and being a bit more creative, it's now called social recruiting, um, with how I would post positions and how I would try to engage and recruit talent. That helps me. And then it ultimately just spiraled into what became my personal brand as an HR professional. And now folks like Tiana and hopefully people like you will find this interesting. So about me, that little segment right there, you can read it for yourself. That is what I call like my personal brand statement or your unique value proposition. Everybody should have one of those. There are a lot of people in this world that work in HR, but I am 100% confident that no one can do HR the way that I can do it. Or that's what will set me apart when I go out for a job interview. And I will speak from a place of those that are seeking jobs. I understand we have some business owners and nonprofit industry professionals in the room, as well as recruiters. So I try to encompass all of it, but a lot of my experience will come from those that are looking for jobs and on the HR talent acquisition side of the business. So this is about me. And then today you can expect some quick facts and stats about why LinkedIn. We're not talking about Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you call it nowadays, Pinterest, any other platform. We are talking about LinkedIn. And I will tell you some things about why LinkedIn is the best place to start your personal brand today. I want to teach you how to be your brand. We're going to build your secret sauce, build your own brand tips and tricks, and then your key takeaways. I love to give people that take the time to listen to me actionable steps that they can do today. It's great to hear a presentation and to feel inspired, but then you want to take that inspiration into action. So we are taking our talents to LinkedIn. Quick stats for businesses. You are 2 times higher to convert people on LinkedIn compared to other platforms. These are all from January 2024 stats by LinkedIn. Job seekers, you are 9 times more likely to be hired if you have an active LinkedIn profile. And we'll talk about what active means. It doesn't mean just create one and it lives out there in limbo. You got to be active. And then over 77% of recruiters, at least, but I believe it's over at this point, use LinkedIn when sourcing candidates. That means trying to find candidates to fill their open roles today. So with some of those stats and facts, I would be remiss if I didn't first off tell you what personal branding is. And I found an interesting definition from Harvard Business School executive fellow Rachel Greenwald. And she says personal branding is the amalgamation of the associations, beliefs, feelings, attitudes, and expectations that people collectively hold about you. So those 5 things make a fist. This fist is what everybody is your personal brand. Those 5 things are what people think about you. So your associations, who you work with, who you hang out with, the community service you do. It's a lot of things that can be there. What people believe when they see you in person, but also when they see you online, because that's the way a lot of us see each other nowadays, how they feel about those things and their attitude, and then what they expect from you. So of that's the definition of personal branding. I have 4 eyes that's going to help you build your secret sauce. But before I get ahead of myself, I'm really excited to be here and just slightly nervous. But personal branding is important. And outside of these stats that I've shared, it's also a great way to get a promotion, increase your pay, increase your prestige, elevate your position, and activate your purpose. You can always get a promotion in corporate America. I came to MISO as a recruiter, and because I started doing things differently on LinkedIn than the other recruiters, I'd like to think me leveraging and creating my own brand led me to be promoted to a talent scout and brand ambassador. And that was in 11 months at MISO, a company I've heard of MISO, but I hadn't been here a year yet before I got a promotion. Obviously, with that promotion, my pay was increased. Prestige, it kind of depends on who you are. I am a person of prestige. I hope that is being conveyed today. through the screen with how I present myself and how you feel after this presentation today. But that's basically going to enhance your reputation and your credibility. A lot of people sometimes get personal brand and reputation mixed up. You can control your personal brand. You can't so much control your reputation because that's what people think. Now you can change the way you act, but at this point in where I think many of us are in life and our careers, your reputation is your reputation. But you can shift and recreate and evolve a personal brand versus it's a lot harder and it's a lot longer of a time for your reputation. So your personal brand is going to elevate your prestige, which will elevate your credibility, reputation, and your personal brand, even your personal confidence and self-esteem too. Your position, that just kind of depends on where you are. If you're one of these three, if you're a business, right, you may want your business to elevate versus your person or your position on the job. And then your purpose, building a personal brand, if at all possible. If you can merge together your passion and purpose, it will come across more authentic and the work will be more fulfilling and include more integrity for you. I know that's been my experience. So here we are. Now, let me get back on track with my slides. So now that I've kind of told you a little bit about me and then what to expect today, I wanted to just share these photos because initially I was thinking career wise, and this kind of shows like I've been a student, I've been a makeup artist, I've been a radio personality, I've been a beauty influencer, I was a college basketball player, I was a traditional recruiter where I went out to career fairs, and now I still do some of those recruitment things, but more on a proactive level versus reactive. And I just want you to understand that your brand is way more than all of this. There are parts of this that you will bring into your brand, but I don't want you to leave today thinking, well, I'm an HR professional. Well, I'm a business owner. Well, I work for the city government. That is not your brand. That's what you do. Your brand is the associations, the beliefs, the feelings, the attitudes, and the expectations that a community of people have about said brand. And I also wanted to show this slide so that you understand everything can evolve. You'll go a lot of different places and spaces before you truly maybe land on your thing. So I told you I would help you build your secret sauce, but I had to break the bad news that there really is no such thing as a secret sauce. We all have our own secret sauce. So a lot of times we'll see these promotions on social media where I can help you make 10K in 30 days. Here's my secret sauce. That's what worked for them. You can take some nuggets and bits of success from them, but ultimately you have to show up, you have to do the work. So I will tell you today, if you're not in a place where you're ready to show up and do the work to build a personal brand, this may not be the presentation for you. So let's talk about your identity. Your identity is literally who you are. Again, what you do can be a part of that, but what you do is not your identity. A great way that I was able to find this, and I think this will help you, and if you're a note taker, this may be good for you, is to think about what do people say about you? Like, who do they say you are? Insert name. I know this person, and I know that they do financial planning. I know that David works at Bank of America. I also learned talking to David that he used to do some contract work in the energy field. So that may be some things that people think about you or what you're known for. Then you got to go back inward, right? You get that feedback from the outside. Who do you want to be? So who do people say you are? And who do you want to be? And on who do you want to be, you want to start thinking about what does success feel like to you? Because we're building a personal brand, right? With the end goal, it being bigger than life. But of course, we know we have to do the work. So start thinking about what does success feel like to you and where do you see yourself? So for me, people knew I was a radio personality. People knew I was a great public speaker. People knew I had worked in HR a little bit, just enough to be dangerous. But was I really fully adept in the field yet? Not so much. They also knew that I had a media background and that I had dibbled and dabbled in social media. So just maybe there's this position of a talent scout that needs some of those things. So maybe she has about 80% of the skill set that we need, and there's growth to grow with that 20%. And then I knew my big goal is to ultimately be a CHRO, a chief executive in HR. So that's what success feels like to me. So then I had to think, well, what's my passion and purpose? That's the question. And third question you need to ask yourself: what lights you up? Maybe take it a step further. What would you do for free? And why does this thing light you up? Through all of my careers that I've had, and that slide that I showed you, one thing was prevalent for me. People were always the product in my jobs. Makeup artists, the people. I was doing makeup for a person, made them feel beautiful. Radio, I was speaking to thousands of people, making them mark memories throughout the music I was playing, maybe what I was saying, maybe a commercial that was on. When I got in HR, that's definitely about people. So that is something, even an athlete, you're there to perform for yourself and to win the game, but ultimately people are watching and looking up to you. So I knew without a shadow of a doubt that people were my purpose. And I just had to find what lights me up and what was my passion to merge those two together. And I have found that in human resources. So, what are your strengths? Your strengths are the fourth question. The easiest way to get this, you can do this right now while you're here. Text your friends, text 3 to 5 of them, and simply ask, hey, what do you think I'm really good at? What are some strengths? I did this about 4 years ago, and that's how I was able to just start building up on what you see today as a presentation. And then 5, that unique value proposition, that paragraph that I showed you earlier. Once you get who do people say you are, what are your strengths, what do you want to be, and what's your passion and purpose, that can help you begin to mold a unique value proposition, mission statement, personal brand statement, whatever you want to call it. Thought leaders across the industry call it one of those 3 things. And then once you have those things, there's a great way we can talk about that at the end about how to structure it. You can use AI to help you structure it. And then you always want to go back behind AI though and use your own voice and kind of play with some of those words. So now that we have talked about what identity is, next up is influence. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to skip past the identity phase because that's the legwork early on. People just want to go straight to influence. I want to have 20,000 followers. I want to make influence. But influence comes with time, and this is all part of the work. Influence is like the value you bring and what people get from you for free, honestly. Before you can even start to make $1, you got to influence people and get them to trust in the product you're selling, or to trust in what you're saying or the information that you're providing them, or to trust that every time they come to your page, they will be entertained. So that is what you got to think about with influence. You also let's think about some people like Oprah Winfrey. Who else is popular? Your preacher, Deion Sanders. Anybody, the president, those are people that you just immediately know, like, oh, these are the topics they're going to talk about. This is the information I'm going to get from them. There's the value. So that's what we mean by influence. And it's gained over time. And you must have a community in order to have influence. So you may influence, and it can be a small faction of people. And then ultimately, you'll keep doing the work. You'll keep bringing and adding value to their lives, and they'll share about you, talk about you for you, because you're giving them value for free. And that will expand and expound your influence. So I want you to think about influence, giving you again these tactical things that you can try today. What do you do? And where and how do you share it consistently? So for me, it's easy. I recruit people every day, all day. I look for people to fill the STEM careers that we have: electrical engineering, data science, legal, finance. That's what I do. So I'm going to talk to people. My influence is going to be those people that are looking for jobs. I'm going to give you the ins and outs of what to look for, how to interview, how to negotiate your salary, how to apply. Should you reach out to a recruiter? Should you not reach out to a recruiter? Just real basic things. And you can continue to make it as large, like long form content in terms of a blog or an article or an op-ed, or just simple short captions or short form video on LinkedIn. Number 2, what type of content can your audience expect from you? My audience can expect authentic stories that will help job seekers land the job that they want by leveraging what they have and leveling up their resumes. If you're a business owner and you have B2B B2B marketing that you do, LinkedIn is great for business to business people. I believe the stat was there are 16% more people will see like your content if you're working in the B2B space. Ooh, needed water. Excuse me. So that's a great place to influence on LinkedIn if you are someone that sells a product or you're out here courting or selling services to a business. So your influence is what do you do and how do you share it consistently? What does that content look like? What can the audience expect from you? You can make your content pillars or your narratives that you're going to tell. Think of it like you're on a freeway and I'm just driving. I'm a job seeker. I need to exit here because I know Shamia has this. Driving. I'm a business that wants to sell my financial planning services, so I need to exit here. That's how you think of your content pillars. About 3 will do it. And you always want to inform or educate. Of course, you want to engage with people, and then you want to try to inspire or entertain them. Number 3, how will the content that you share help your audience solve their problems and pain points? So it's great that you love pottery. It's great that you want to share that, but a lot of times on platforms, we are just sharing what we enjoy, but it's not bringing value, which is why you have no influence. So if you like pottery, that's totally fine. Maybe teach people how to make pottery. Maybe teach parents that are stay-at-home parents how to do something with their kids this summer. Maybe teach kids who are interested in science and elements and earth how to mix the ingredients and make pottery. There are a variety of things that will add value, but it has to be more than just you sharing what you love. It has to be something that solves a problem or addresses a pain point for your audience. Authenticity is required in influence. Gone are the days of posting these highly curated, highly elevated photos where you look like you've never had a problem a day in your life. People really want to see, if you're going to do video, they really just want to see you in your element, raw, of course, edit it to make it short or as long as you need to capture people's attention, but they want to see you. They don't want to see things so elevated. Now, as you continue to grow, your product is going to get better, right? And your personal branding is going to increase your pay. So it will begin to look different, but they will have grown with you on that journey, therefore trusting your influence. Okay. So on impression, that's basically the same as your metrics. You gotta think visibility when we start talking about impressions though. So your reach and impressions are basically the same thing. How many times people see your content, but it's also like the impress, like think of literally an impression, how you press into something. What are you doing with your community? How deep are you going with your community? Who knows you? And of course, who you know, but it's more important who knows you. There was a story I read preparing for today about a guy, and he was working, first one in, last one out, doing his job exceptionally, getting exceeds expectations, high ratings on all of his performance reviews. And when it was time for a promotion, he wasn't selected. So he asked his manager, why didn't I get the promotion? I have all raving reviews on my performance. I don't get dinged or get called out for things being late. My work output is high quality. I'm confused on why I wasn't selected for the promotion. The boss simply told him, no one knows you. And I know that sucks and that's not good. And that's not I'm not going to say it's not good. It's not a good feeling. But where we are in 2024, businesses have a lot that they have to address, right? Especially in the social justice space, in the financial space, and simply in the employee experience space, making sure that their employees enjoy their day. And if no one knows you, then they're not going to talk about the amazing work you do. And you're not going to help the company get more notoriety, which is back to today's presentation, the importance of building your personal brand, because you're going to benefit yourself and you're also more than likely going to benefit your company by being positive, by getting your personal brand out in the space. And so it's very important to have impression. Metrics do matter. So as you're starting out and you make your post, follow the tea leaves. There'll be a few posts that'll all of a sudden spike up and you're like, what did I do there? Those are the ones you want to lean into. Maybe people were engaging with that content more and making great comments for you. Maybe it was a certain picture or a certain hairstyle. People can be real finicky in the personal brand space. So I don't want to get over indulging into your person, but just be mindful of what works for your audience is what your audience wants to hear from you. So you got to be real authentic with yourself when you post things and understand, is this something I can maintain and be consistent with over a long period of time so I can continue to make impressions? Ultimately, your impressions will lead to your impact, and your impressions also shed light back on your influence. So these last three really work in tandem, especially when you're putting in the time, effort, and consistency required. Last but not least is your impact. And your impact is all about what your audience or your community is a more ideal word, how they feel and how often they begin to engage with you. Because you'll notice there'll be some regulars, kind of like the coffee shop. You'll have some regulars because no one makes the coffee on LinkedIn the way that you make the coffee. You give it to me just right. The creamer is perfect, or it's black and I don't like creamer, whatever it is, but you're my person. That's how you'll know you start to make impact, as you start to engage with people and people begin to engage with you more consistently. AI is your friend when making impact, because being consistent requires us to crank out content. And AI is a great piece of technology that helps you shorten that time. I know back maybe a few years ago, people were talking about batching content, and that's so good to do. It's creating a lot of content in one sitting, and AI just helps you do that. But use AI to enhance your authentic voice, not create it for you. Do not be afraid to promote and pitch yourself. So when making impact, don't be afraid to reach out to people and say, hey, this is what I do. I notice your audience is X, Y, and Z. And this seems like our target audience is aligned. I would love to be able to present on topics that align with my personal brand. You can fill that in, but don't ever be afraid to pitch yourself. Don't ever be afraid to post, hey, I just got this amazing award for doing blah, blah, blah. As a thought leader in this space, just kind of fill in the gaps with your content. That's a great way to be gracious, but to also say, you know what, look at me. I'm actually out here doing it. And it'll help you just feel better about yourself. And the more you do it, the better you'll be. Basically like creating this content. With your impact, you'll start to get those unsolicited referrals. People will share your content, and you'll just start slowly noticing your following and your community continue to grow. And when you are thinking about how you want to impact people, think about one person. Anytime you talk, don't say, hey, y'all. Hey, everyone. Hey, you. This is how I'm helping you. This is how you can get this done. This is how this worked for me. This is why I know it will work for you. You always want to talk to one person. Be creative, be specific, and be realistic. Create like this avatar in your head. What's their age? Where do they live? What's their ethnicity? What's their pay range? What do they do for a living? Think about those real things that make a person, and that'll help you get more personable with your content, and you'll continue to make impact. We got any questions so far? Tiana, if you want to come off mute and help me out there, that would be great. If not, I'm going to keep trucking.
I do not see any questions so
Okay.
far, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I wouldn't offer a quick second for everyone to virtually network. If you have a moment, if you want to drop in your link to your LinkedIn so everyone can kind of follow each other if you're comfortable sharing, and I'll make sure to drop mine as well.
Yes. Absolutely. So next up are our tips and tricks. I want you to think of these things just as, again, things you can do today. You got to be an entire human when you're on social media. So a great way to get started, easy way today, you could post a selfie and make a self-reflection. Those are things that it's already happened in your life, how you got from point A to point B in your career. And a simple selfie will get it done. I find that to be less daunting and just an easy way to put yourself out there. Other things you can do on LinkedIn, follow your ideal employers, follow your own employer. I think a lot of us would be amazed if we just started creating content about our experience as an employee and the things that make you stay at your company. And then you'll be surprised at your company noticing what you're doing. And again, it's helping your company be seen, and that's adding to your influence. Follow thought leaders, people that are in your space of business and that are doing things very well, people who have a personal brand that you admire. Follow those folks and follow their tea leaves, but remember to always make it your own. There are groups on LinkedIn, and we'll go through my LinkedIn page just to show you how to optimize your page. And groups and following hashtags and newsletters is another great way. These platforms want you to use what they have created for you. So those are great ways to just let the platform know, hey, I'm active. Hey, I'm a real person here, and I'm here and want you to help me grow. Leverage what you know. All of us already have all this information in our brains. We do our jobs very well every single day. Leverage it. Find industry news that's relative to your area of business, to your career. Maybe you've already had one career and you've shifted to another career. Maybe you're on the tail end and the twilight of your career and you're about to retire. Whatever your experience is, you can leverage that because that is something you know and it's unique to you. Maybe share your future goals or why people should work with you and your business because you have X, Y, and Z to offer. You got to interact or engage with intention. We are now in a space, and me being in HR, empathy is it's the new leadership style. Before, those that were like financially savvy were always in seat promotion to be the next CEO. So like the CFO was always the CEO. We're now slowly starting to see where the CHRO is usually the in seat for the CEO, or there's a great chance that they're in the running because we find that in HR, you have to have a lot of empathy. When you're dealing with just numbers, it's cut and dry. The numbers don't lie. It is what it is. Sorry. But in HR, you have the nuances of human beings and the nuances of the company needs this, but we may not have the people to do it, or there's a variety of things. So empathy and authenticity are the new engagement. So again, being a whole person, leveraging what you know and being authentic with that and empathetic as you share your information with your audience will help you build your personal brand. Another tip, when you see someone and they post something that you really like, you can simply repost it, and that'll just help you to keep tracking with the impressions that they've made. Or you can repost it and then make your own content from that. Maybe they only went so far with their idea, but you have another thought that you want to tell or tag on to that. You can also repost others' content instead of trying to recreate from scratch. Start doing that until you get more comfortable creating your own content. Always leave thoughtful comments on others' posts. I log into LinkedIn daily, but I don't post daily. And you don't have to post daily, especially if you set aside 5, 10, 15, whatever you can stomach and have capacity for. Put that time on a phone, quick timer, and like go engage with, again, your ideal employers, thought leaders. Go into your groups, people that are in your community, engage with their content just like you want them to engage with yours. And that's going to do nothing but help you continue to grow the brand that you're building. So before we get into just a quick LinkedIn overview and any questions that you guys may have, again, the power of building your own brand. I want you to believe me because your personal brand does exist. It already exists, whether you think it does or doesn't, it does. So you may as well lean in and leverage it. Be active. Your social capital is key to advancing your career or business. I have a lot of case studies. I'm a walking, talking billboard for that. Leveraging my brand on LinkedIn without a shadow of a doubt has catapulted my career in a short time. Build today. This is that actionable step that you can take as well. You can create a post using a selfie, even if you want, that captures your identity, your influence, and the impact you plan to make with your online community. So in review, your identity is who do people say you are? Who do you want to be? What's your passion and purpose? What are you really good at? And then craft that into a unique value proposition. Your influence is going to be your content pillars, that value that you give to your community for free before you ever ask them to spend $1 with you. And your impact, word of mouth and unsolicited referrals, as well as, of course, your impression with your followers and just how much people engage with your content is going to let you know that you're making impact. You won't have to tell people how good you are. They'll just start talking about it for you. So do we have any questions at this point?
Yes, ma'am. A quick note, I did not know, but the webinar chat is now open. So if you didn't get a chance to drop in your LinkedIn link, please do so now. And then also someone asks, well, Michelle asks, when you say log in daily, does that include weekends? Is it still consistent if you want to do Monday through Friday?
So, you don't have to do that. And when I say daily, let's start small, right? Let's go ahead and have you logging in. I'm not sharing my screen while I'm talking. Let's go ahead and have you log in. I like to at least try to get one post in on the weekend or some form of engagement. I find myself just being intrigued with LinkedIn, probably a little too much. So it's really up to you, Michelle. And so my LinkedIn is giving me a run for my money. I wonder, is it? Okay, there we go. As it's loading, I'm going to reshare my screen just to talk through. And then if there's any other questions, totally here for that. If you want to come off camera and engage, whatever.
We have another
Mhm.
question
What's up
while
with
you're
the
looking for that.
Okay.
How do you share on LinkedIn without making your post too personable? What is a good line of sharing the wrong thing?
Yes, 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 yes. LinkedIn is not Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So if you want to share a photo, I have noticed LinkedIn does want you to share photos. They really love their version of carousels, which is where you put a PDF. You may have like 5 pages and you put it in one PDF and upload it and people can swipe through. That's very, very popular on LinkedIn. Personally, I don't share anything that I would not want my mother to know or I would not want my boss to know. I've seen some things that teeter-totter the line. If you are self-employed and you handle your own income and you're responsible for the flow of that money, you have a bit more leeway. But if you work for a company and you choose to put that company's name as this is where I work, this is the experience I have, people are going to form their own impressions of you, and you cannot control, nor, in my opinion, be upset because you shared information publicly that now activates someone's bias. So just be mindful of that. I hope that answers your question. If not, we will slide an email and we can be more candid about it. Okay. If not, I think LinkedIn is gonna let me log in real quick. So the way this is going to work is I wanted to show you my page. You can totally come engage, follow me, all of that, but we're gonna talk through how to optimize the page. So my message to Tiana keeps popping up. All right. So this banner part right here, this would be where you would click to upload a banner. Because my job is brand ambassador, I'm mindful that my page, as long as I work for myself, a portion of it is going to be spent supporting and sharing the story of what it's like as an employee at myself. So that's why I have this banner. You can put your business. There's a variety of things you'll see. Put a banner though. You can go into Canva. There are a variety of ways you create something. The banner kind of separates those who know from those who don't, or those who are serious from those who are just kind of here. You want to do that. Your profile picture should be something clear. No, nothing in your background. LinkedIn again is not Instagram, it's not Facebook. We want to see who you are. If you haven't had a headshot in about 4 or 5 years, I'd recommend getting that updated. We want people to know what we look like today. And then put your full name. I list Mia because people struggle to pronounce Shamia. So I'll give you an option. This headline right here is very, very valuable because when people search your profile, they're going to see your headshot, your name, and this part right here. People approach this differently. What I recommend, if you are in corporate America, or you're a business owner, you could even put that. But I like to put my job title first, and then I go into what I do and what my page is going to offer you. And then that's helping you unlock unlimited career potential. So let me say it this way. I do my job title, my content pillars, and then how my page is going to help you. So I'm going to always talk about some form of branding, definitely storytelling, and then talent attraction. That's the part of my job. And then I'm here to help people, job seekers, if that's you, or you have a job and you just want to shift and do something different in your career. Whatever it is, I'm here to help you unlock that. I put my career, my corporate employer, as well as my latest degree. You can put whatever you want. I'll be transparent. My undergrad is Missouri Western State University. I understand that Howard is a more prestigious and well-known university where I got my master's. That's why I have it there. I also work in DEI, and I'm an advocate for HBCU students matriculating into the field of STEM. Again, trying to find commonalities with people that can help them connect with me. My location is there as well. And then you want to go into this about section. Your bio or about section on LinkedIn should be a story, not an obituary. And I say that with the most respect. It's okay to talk about yourself and self-promote yourself, but entice people to want to learn more and to also get a good snapshot of what it is you do, what it is you've done, and what it is you like to do. And mine actually needs to be updated at this point. Featured section. So the featured section is very, very good. It's like a free landing page on LinkedIn. You have to first create a post before you can pin something to your featured section. Something I'm very proud about is being recognized as one of Arkansas Business's top 40 under 40 last week. So I made a post about that experience. And so now that gives me some credibility, right? It's definitely a prestigious award here in the state of Arkansas and across the country. A lot of organizations and states have their own version, 20 in their 20s, 30 under 30, 40 under 40, 50 under 50, what have you. So that's something that shows my credibility. This is another piece that I'm very proud of because I still do voiceover work and I still want my career to eventually find its way back to media, but in a corporate way. So you never know. Someone may need to book you for something. I'm a well-known public speaker. So that's why I shared that. And then I do HR talks as well as presentations. And that's what that is. On top of, it's not just about me. I'm giving you three key takeaways for any job seeker who no longer, what? Now, if I'm a job seeker, I'm like, oh, let me go click that. So sometimes you want to, and that's another presentation for another day, but create your hooks in a way that it makes someone go to the next line or makes them have to click to read more. Sometimes you don't want to give it all away. All righty. And you want to fill in your experience, something that I still need to do. I've added my skills, but you could also treat it more like a resume, and you could put a few bullet points about great performance things you've done. Not like I've led full cycle recruiting. Yeah, but I led full cycle recruiting and over a 5-year period increased the company's diverse hires by X amount percentage. Those are how, and that's my recruiter hat in another presentation for another day, but that's how you put some bullets out there, and recruiters bite at things like that all the time. And so I do all of my experience, everything I've ever done, it's here. That's tomato per person. But again, I like people to see how I've grown, and I like my community to grow with me and know that that's possible. This is where my full education is. If you have any credentials or once you get LinkedIn Learning and you start completing credentials with LinkedIn, they'll add it for you automatically. Volunteering, projects, your skills, endorsements, you can ask people to endorse you. Recommendations, same thing. This is just me using the entire platform. I also have interest. I have a goal this year to become a top voice in recruiting on LinkedIn. So I've started following a lot of top voices to start seeing what they're doing. Newsletters, certain universities I always recruit from. I follow their schools or their schools of law, different things like that, because that's helping me do my job better. Groups are another way to share jobs as well as find jobs. Okay. If you have any causes, I just put it there because LinkedIn has it. It's a part of completing the profile. So these are things if you really want to get that deep and kind of see what wakes me up in the morning. That's some of there. The reason one more thing I want to share, we have about 10 minutes left. The reason I wanted to tell you to put your experience. When you go to someone's LinkedIn page and you click more, recruiters do this, and you can hit save to PDF. LinkedIn will create a mock resume, but it basically prints like a resume, and it helps them. I'll do it for you real quick. Let's see if it opens. And it'll show me in a quick way what you're good at, what you can do before I even reach out to you to get your resume. And I'll send this to hiring managers a lot of time just so they can get an idea. But you see this summary, that's literally what I put in my about section. On the left, they listed my top skills. That needs to be updated because clearly that doesn't really represent what I do well today. You can see that I speak a little bit of Spanish, not that much anymore. But your experience, you could see where someone worked. So this is why you want to complete a full LinkedIn profile, because you don't know what recruiters may be doing to find out more about you and share with hiring managers. So I hope that helped you understand how to build, be, and believe in the power of you. You are your own brand. I dropped my LinkedIn in the link to my LinkedIn in the chat. Tiana and David, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I hope to connect with you guys further in the world of LinkedIn.
Thank you. If anyone has any questions while I do these final announcements, please make sure to put them in. But in the meantime, I do want to thank you, Mia, for doing this presentation. It was really good. I took down some good notes. One thing that you said that I really do like is that your bio should be a story and not an obituary. I think that's something that I need to work on, which is not making it stagnant and making it inviting and incorporative and creative. So that's something I need to work on.
Yes, we all go to those events, and then someone has to read your long bio and you've already been sitting for 10, 15, 20 minutes and now you got to listen to somebody speak. So at least make it
Right.
interesting. I always try to think about the recipient.
And then also I try to keep in mind that we use LinkedIn to also find commonalities with people. So just you going through your page helped me realize that we're both sorors, we're both part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and we both love working in the DEI space. So then you can go on other people's pages and try to find commonalities with them. And then you'll start a message or you strike a note with someone, and then that's a whole nother connection. So. And thank you again for sharing. And Mr. Michael, thank you again for being here. And to the participants, thank you guys again for logging in. I hope to see you all in the next conversation. In the meantime, we do have 2 chamber events coming up if you all are interested in attending. We have a Power Up Little Rock session. It will be at the Clinton Library on July 11th from 11:30 to 1. And that will be with meeting the new CEO and president of the St. Louis Federal Reserve. So if anyone's interested in that, please email me. And then we also have on the same day, July 11th, but from 5 to 7 is Bowling for Business. So if you're interested in any one of those, please email me, and then this session will be recorded. And I'm sure that you all can reach out to Ms. Mia anytime, and she'll help you as well with any further LinkedIn questions or concerns and how to get your jump page started. And with that, thank you guys again and have a good day and good luck on networking in LinkedIn.
Thank you, Tiana.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.